Middle-earth: Shadows of Mordor shows the rest of the world how to do open-world action-adventure games correctly. Give it a world that's interesting and has fascinating stuff to do and find, and pair it with a combat system that has such a bewildering set of moves and options that you can't help but enjoy yourself in every encounter, and centre that in some of the most gorgeous surroundings in video games to date. You can't help but describe it as a complete package. That's not even to mention the unique Nemesis system, which leads to the most individualised experience in video games I think I've ever had. Purgish, the orc that I half burned and let run away, that tracked me halfway across Mordor just to tell me how much I'd ruined his life, is so different. I didn't know how to react to it. I didn't want to kill him, I felt like I'd done enough to this poor orc's life. Video games rarely make you think about how your actions affect characters in the world. This one did, and for that and all its other merits, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor deserves to be applauded. Persona, how I love you so. After the massive disappointment that Bravely Default thrust upon my soul this year, I felt so happy to get my excellent JRPG for the 3DS. Yes, it's massively fanservy, yes it doesn't do a whole lot different from its mother game Etrian and Odyssey, but this game pulls off combining the worlds and characters of two of the best JRPGs ever made so well, it's staggering. Watching the two main nerdy characters of both casts interacting with one another is so cringeworthy, it's brilliant. Watching Teddy try to score with a whole new set of female characters, one of whom's a robot, is hilariously terrible as always. Combine that with a precision combat system that is genuinely difficult, interesting level design and puzzles that forces you to keep track of your own progression and discovery throughout each stage, and drape it all in the iconic Persona style of such an incredible soundtrack, it's hard not to call Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth one of, if not the best game available for the 3DS to date. Hard to believe I'd put a Dragon Age game on my Game of the Year list, eh? As BioWare stated, this is the evolution of their games, and if that's the case, I'm excited to see the future of this developer. Keeping the unrivaled character and world building while shaking up the combat by combining old and new systems. With varied results most of the time, it's easy to see the growth that BioWare is taking. This growth does not come without some teething problems, however. Several bugs and problems related to crashes really hamper this game from being the shining gem it deserves to be, especially for a game that looks this good. With an increased focus on character models, and their facial animations in particular, that really help you believe that these are real people with feelings and beliefs, as if BioWare needed more effort in their characters. I think this game's amazing, but it has its flaws. Granted, it's bolstered a lot by Iron Bull. Think of the mayhem. Comedy is incredibly hard to pull off in video games. The fact that Jazzpunk pulls it off in the amount of jokes it does, and have them, in my opinion, land so effectively, is more impressive than any amount of shaders or polygons that were thrown at me in video games combined this year. Jazzpunk is an absolute joy of an experience. I hate to use the phrase laugh a minute because it's so trite, but that isn't even accurate to this video game. It's a laugh every 30 seconds. Play this game, enjoy this game. If you don't laugh at everything, give it a couple of seconds. I'm sure it will show you something that you'll love. No game has spoken to why I love this medium more than Divinity Original Sin this year. What has been achieved from what started as Kickstarter is nothing short of incredible. What can only be described as a revolution in the CRPG genre, of which my grounding in this industry is based, I can't help but be massively impressed, and not only holds dear why I love games like Baldur's Gate by keeping the tight, small group-based tactical combat encounter that makes every fight such a joy, but also massively improves on this system with things like innovations in elemental damage interactions, and just sheer choice in every combat encounter. You can reduce combat to nothing by making enemies all wet and freezing them into solid blocks, or you can make it a lot more interesting by using your surroundings. That oil barrel over there looks like a great thing to set on fire as an improvised grenade. All this is bolstered by an amazing character building system that provides you with so much choice in build and avenues of play, that I could see people playing this game for years and discovering the new hotness in combat. I can't explain how much this game impressed me and how much I enjoy playing it. Every fan of a good RPG, regardless of whether or not you've played games like Baldur's Gate, should play this game. It will go down, mark my words, in history as one of the best RPGs ever made.